With the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State.
But you know, as they say, hail to the Redskins. Let's roll, man. Let's go.
Got another super chat here. This one from Hamdale, hashtag Hamdale. Thank you for the super chat, hashtag Hamdale. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I remember watching Charles Mann and Dexter Manley coming off the ends. I'm expecting that same level of excitement coming soon. I can't wait. Hashtag HTTR. Neither can I, and that's why football must take place. And I'm hoping that these other leagues get their situations off the ground so that the NFL is able to see what works, see what doesn't work, take bits and pieces from what everybody else does, and integrates that into their plan and comes up with the best plan possible to not only start a season, but to get all the way through, barring another, widespread pandemic, and this thing coming all the way back around and mutating into something different and really sending a second wave that we didn't see coming and bringing everything to a screeching halt once again. Outside of that, I want to see this thing not only start, but be able to finish. And it's because of comments like the one hashtag Hamdale just put up that pretty much talks about his excitement. I'm excited too, which is why this season has to happen. I haven't been this excited about a Redskins team. And know this. I don't expect us to win. Let me reiterate this. I'm still really excited to see this team because I know we're building something, And so I can't wait to watch. And I'm so excited. And it could not happen. So it's frustrating. But I, like you, Hamdale, can't wait to see this thing unfold. And you're right. We haven't had a tandem off the edge like this, potentially, since Manley and Mann, Eminem. And so I hope that these guys are everything that we think they could be and then some. I really hope that the NFC East is in trouble. I really hope so. For years, Dak Prescott has been running all over us. For years, Carson Wentz has been creating Houdini escape magic tricks on us and just breaking our back. Like Mike Tyson, I broke my back. Carson Wentz has broken our back multiple times. I'm sick of it. I just want to be able to dominate somewhere in this division. I think we can get it done with our edge rushers, with our defensive line. We've spent the resources. Now it's time to see our fruits of our labor come to fruition. I just want to take a nice, juicy bite out of this fruit that we've been harvesting for years. All right? First rounder after first rounder after first rounder after first rounder after first rounder. All of these seeds that we've planted. I just want to finally go outside on that first round tree and pick off a fruit. Take a big ass bite, have juices dripping down my chin and say, man, that's some good fruit. We did good here. And I want to be able to do that year after year after year. We deserve it as Redskins fans. We've put up with so much mediocrity, it's not funny. We've put up with so much mediocre play that we get excited for things that other teams laugh at. It's time for us to be excited about something that the rest of the league would be excited about. It's time to have a guy that not just Redskins fans know about, but the rest of the league knows about. And when those primetime moments show up, that guy shows up. I think we may have a guy or two. And if those guys are what we think they are, they're going to bring friends with them. That's the beauty of having a dominant player. All right. That's the beauty of an Aaron Donald. That's the beauty of a J.J. Watt. when you get guys like that, generally they bring friends with them because now all the attention is on them. Gotta stop J.J. Watt. Gotta stop Aaron Donald. Gotta stop Chase Young. Oh yeah? Here comes Montez Sweat. Here comes Matt Ioannidis. Here comes Jonathan Allen. Here comes anybody else you could think of. All right? Ryan Kerrigan. Here comes Tim Settle. All right? Here comes Deron Payne. All right? Here comes Cole Holcomb on a blitz. You know, we've got so many guys that can hurt you if this one guy is dominant. Or if it's Montez Sweat. Maybe it's not Chase Young. Maybe it's Montez Sweat. I really don't give a shit who it is. Maybe it's both of them. The more the merrier. But we deserve it as Redskins fans. We've put up with too much mediocrity over the years. We've put up with too much of it. We deserve a product that we can be proud of. Speaking of which, perfect segue to the name. And we'll get back. I got a ton of super chats that I need to get to. So we'll get back to those in a second. But the name. All right, we've been down this road again. You know, I wasn't going to do this initially. I didn't have any desire to because I've been down this road before. I've done this before. Go back in my archives like 4 years ago when this name, controversy was at its peak. I've never seen it this highly debated before to the point where I actually made a video saying, hey, maybe we should consider changing the name. You know, and I had a bunch of Redskins fans come at my neck like, how dare you, dude? We're not changing a damn thing. And so that's when all the polls started coming out and I started doing my homework. And I quickly found out that the people that everyone is saying has a problem with this doesn't have a problem with this at all. It's everybody else that's telling the rest of the public what they should be outraged about. It's this PC America that we've created, which in certain instances, it's good. Sometimes you need the PC police to come and police some shit. But sometimes you just need the PC people to sit down and shut the hell up. And this is one of those times where I'm like, hey, this doesn't even concern you. You mad for the Indians and the Indians not even mad about it, they damn self. How you mad about something and the people that it's supposed to be affecting aren't even affected by it? They don't care. So why do you care if they don't care? I always tell my kids, I can't care about your grades more than you care about your grades. If you don't care about your grades, why should I care about your grades? I can't go to work and do your schoolwork for you. I can't get an A for you. You gotta want to get an A. And if you want it bad enough, I will help you get there. But if you don't care about your grades, why should I care more about your grades than you do? I'm not going to get paid for your grades. I'm not going to be rewarded because you got a C. You need to care about your grades. Why do other people care about somebody else being outraged about something that they're not outraged about? They're telling the Indians, you should be mad about this. You should be steaming mad. You should want them to change this name. And the Indians are like, no, actually my son goes to a school and their logo and their mascot and their nickname is the Redskins. Like, we're cool with this. Like, we're fine. We got other issues that are affecting the Indian community that are much bigger than the Redskins name. We're cool, thanks, but no thanks. We're good. And everyone's like, no, you should be outraged. We've been down this road before. And so I wasn't going to do this tonight because I've done this. I told you, go back in the archives. I've been down this road. And somebody brought it to my attention again today. And I'll tell you when it first started for me, coming back around again, because I knew once the Black Lives Matter movement came back stronger than ever, and I really think change is about to come. And we're seeing a lot of things change. You know, when Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben are being pulled off of shelves and they're going to rebrand, you know some shit is changing. So that makes me think, man, maybe the Redskins could be in trouble here, you know? I mean, but seriously, my friend hit me up, and he's a Raiders fan. He's not even a Redskins fan. And, you know, he follows football in the offseason, but really he just cares about his team. He's not worried about what's going on with the Redskins. And so he generally doesn't know, nor does he care what's going on with the Redskins. But he hits me up and he's like, yo, what's going on with the Redskins? I said, what you mean? What's going on? Ain't nothing going on with the Redskins. Everything's status quo here. I mean, a couple guys jumping on some Zoom calls. Ain't nothing really popping off. He's like, no, man, what's going on with the name? Y'all about to change it or what? Like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, you ain't seen all of this going on? I'm like, yeah, I've heard it. I've seen a little bit of it. But guess what? I've been here before. And guess what? When all of this stuff started to come up, the minute that George Floyd was murdered and we saw it on actual tape and we actually got to see it and people started rioting in the streets, I knew it was only a matter of time before this whole wave came back around and then they started picking off shit that was on the list. The Redskins name will always be on the list. No matter what happens, no matter how many times Dan Snyder says, not changing the name, leave me alone, it's going to remain on the list of shit to get done by people who have an agenda. And so it never went away. It was always on the list. It was just down the list a bit. But, after we start checking off some of the shit that's at the top of the list and we start coming down the list, we going to come back around to the Redskins name. All right. So eventually I knew this was going to happen. All right. There were some other issues out there that people were going to be outraged about first, and they were, and they took care of those, and they were going to come back around. And they're not done yet. But I said, they're going to come back around to the Redskins name eventually. And I waited, and finally, here we are. I knew it was coming. And so I said, there's a shitstorm that's coming. It's going to be a big one, okay? Because the people that are outraged, PC America, they're really, really getting shit done right now. I mean, if you talk out of turn and you work for a corporation, you're liable to be fired tomorrow. The shit is real. Watch what you say on socials, or watch your step. Because people out here, you make a mistake, one step, kaboom. Black suits fill the room with your job. All right? Damn, man. Richard was a hell of a guy, man. But Richard came out of his mouth wrong on socials yesterday. He had to pack up his box and go. Much faster than slow. So, PC America is winning right now. So, that puts a team like us and our name in jeopardy. But guess what? This is a privately owned entity owned by Daniel Snyder. He's the man in control. The league can't even force him to change his name. Now, what the league can do is put pressure on him. But again, this is the thing. The Redskins name has been through litigation and court situations and court proceedings as early as what? I think the 3 years ago, the Redskins won a big court ruling about the name and everything. And bottom line is, the name isn't going anywhere. So I don't get worked up about this stuff. I don't, because people are going to feel the way they want to feel. And they're entitled to their opinion. I'm never going to tell somebody how they should feel. All right? I can tell you that you're wrong, but I'm not going to tell you that you can't stop feeling the way that you feel. I'm not going to tell you need to stop feeling that way. If that's how you feel, proceed. You're wrong, but proceed. Okay? The Redskins name doesn't mean what it did once upon a time. And the people that say, it's like calling someone the N-word. No, it's not the same thing. Stop. It's not the same thing. Stop. Okay? The N-word is universally known by everybody that it's a bad word that you still to this day cannot say. Okay? You can't say it. Not one single black person thinks that it's okay for somebody else to call them the N-word, especially from a different race. All right? Not one. Now, in terms of Indians, nobody's calling an Indian a redskin anymore. People stopped doing it decades ago. Probably half a century ago. Nobody calls an Indian a redskin. You know what a redskin is? A member of the Washington Redskins professional football team. All right? That's what a redskin is. And my man Kevin Sheehan says it the best. There should be a second non-pejorative definition in the dictionary that states a player that plays for the team in Washington. That's what a redskin should be in the dictionary. Okay? Because if somebody, and this is the example he always gives, and it's the best example I've ever heard anyone give. And this is the discussion that, to me, puts it to rest every time. After you talk to Indians and they say they don't have a problem with it. If you go into a bar, all right, and somebody says, hey, 3 Redskins just walked in. Is someone going to say, 3 Indians just walked in? Nobody's going to say that. If you say 3 Indians just walked in here, 3 Redskins just walked in here, you know what someone's going to say? Who? Was Dwayne Haskins one of them? Like, that's what the response is. So for me, it's not really much here to see. Everyone's going to have their opinions. You know, the mayor says, look, we want the Redskins here, but there's a huge obstacle, and that's the name. It's time for them to change the name. No, it's not time for us to change the name. It's time for you to start being open-minded about the name. But if you're going to continue on this crusade to have the name change, then we'll just have to put the stadium either in Virginia or it'll have to stay in Maryland where the hell it is now, and we'll have to just do what we have to make it do. But at the end of the day, it should be in D.C., and if there are hurdles to get over that we can't because of the name, so be it, whatever the case may be. All right, but at the end of the day, people are going to be outraged. To me, it hasn't even gotten close to where it was once upon a time. You know, the last time we dealt with this, it had hit the ceiling. I thought that the name was going to change. I actually was in the market looking for different names. The easiest thing that I said was just drop the red. People call us the Skins anyway. Just the Skins. And, instead of the Redskin on the helmet, the old logo, just put the arrows back on the helmet and call it a day. That was my compromise back in the day. I don't want to change a damn thing. All right. And I get it. When you look at our history, it doesn't help because we had a racist owner. We were the last NFL team to integrate. And so when you look at the name and you look at the racist owner, yeah, I get it. I understand that there's context to everything, but let's understand that we evolve as people. Words evolve. The word Redskin has evolved over time. It doesn't mean the same thing that it did once upon a time. And the people that it used to affect, it doesn't affect them anymore. And some of them wear it as a badge of honor. So, for PC America to try to tell people what they need to be outraged about, I just, like I said, I leave that to them. I don't even try to get involved. I just know that Dan Snyder isn't changing anything. The one thing Dan Snyder has done well, and there hasn't been many things that Daniel M. Snyder has done throughout his entire duration as Redskins owner. But the one thing he has done well is he has been unwavered in his support for the name and the fact that it's not going to change. And I don't think that the transgressions that have taken place over the last, month or two are going to change that whatsoever, nor should it. All right. We're the Redskins. We are proud to be the Redskins, just like Penn State had to come out with a moniker saying, we are Penn State. We are the Redskins. And I'm proud to be a fan of the Washington Redskins. You don't like it? Fine. You don't have to like it. And honestly, I don't give a shit. I'm a Redskins fan, proud to be a Redskins fan, and you're not going to make me feel bad about being a Redskins fan. That's the way I feel. I'd love to hear how you guys feel.
Louie T Network.